Hi guys, welcome to I'm a Biker. We are here at KTM Indiranagar and we are here today to check out this bike. This is the KTM 250 Duke and we are here to check out the new BS6 version. We are here to ride it, find out how it is to ride, how does it feel, and before we go ahead and ride the bike, let's go through the overall specifications and the design details. So right up front, let's start off with the design details. We have up front this LED headlamp. Now this is familiar to us, we have seen this on the KTM 390 Duke before. Now it has made its way to the 250 Duke as well. We've got the same exact headlamp setup, we've got the LED DRL, we've got the 6 matrix LED headlight with the heat sink in between, and then this motorcycle is all about the sharp edges. So we've got aggressive design going all over the motorcycle. So even the headlamp is sharp up front. We've got the tank shrouds which are again sharp. We've got the radiator shrouds again with sharp lines all over. The seats too have a sharp design, and the rear end too is aggressive. It is simple yet aggressive. We've got LED lighting all over. We've got LED indicators at the rear and at the front. We've got LED tail lamp, and as said earlier, we've got the LED headlamp as well. So that's about the design. The motorcycle rides on MRF Revs C1 tire at the rear, and at the front we've got an MRF Revs FC1. The engine basically remains the same. There are a few internal changes, but the power output remains the same at 29.5 bhp, being put out at 9000 rpm, and 24 Nm being put out at 7500 rpm. The basic differences between the 390 and this now rest in just this. This is the instrument console, and as we see, it is still the same instrument console that we saw on the older Duke 250, whereas the 390 gets the full color TFT screen. The rest of the motorcycle looks very close to the 390. It's just this graphic that sets it apart. It says 250 Duke here. The rest of the motorcycle is almost identical. Coming to the changes with the BS6 model, its major change is this. Now if we see this catalytic converter, the exhaust box right here, now this is lower, so that it has decreased the ground clearance by about 15 millimeters, and weight has increased by 3 kilograms. That's because of the changes made to the exhaust system, but thankfully power remains the same and torque remains the same. That hasn't changed. Also, an update on the new BS6 model are these disc brakes. Up front we've got this 320 millimeter disc brake, which was earlier seen on the 390 alone, but now it's made its way to the 250 Duke as well. As you can see, we've got a radially mounted caliper from Bi-Brake, and that's about it. Of course, we've got a new ABS system, we've got the road mode as well as the supermoto mode, which we will be testing out shortly when we take it for a ride. So it is a switchable ABS. It's a dual channel ABS, but it's switchable. Road mode allows the front and the rear ABS to function, whereas supermoto mode allows only the front ABS to function. The rear can be locked, and that should make for a brilliant riding experience. So that's about it. We will be taking it for a ride now, so let's go for a ride. So here it is, we're finally underway and riding the KTM 250 Duke, the BS6 model, and let's figure out what it's like. How does it feel? Well, first impressions under normal city conditions, of course there's not much traffic. It feels light, it feels peppy. There isn't any jerking, none of that. It's just nice to ride. The ride is supple, not very bumpy, and the brakes are decent. Of course, we haven't tested it completely yet. Okay, on the instrument console we have the actual fuel consumption, so that's the real-time fuel consumption, and it right now shows 30 kilometers per liter, which isn't too bad at all. Now this is a motorcycle that belongs on some twisties, on some highways, on a long ride, on a sporty ride even. But truth be told, most of these motorcycles that will be bought, that will be sold to the customer, will be put through its paces on city roads like this, day in and day out. Maybe the weekend ride on the odd occasion, but it's the urban jungle that it will be living most of its life in, and that's why this matters. First impression, the steering is light. It feels nimble, easy to move around, easy to handle. There is no, it's not hard really to ride around, especially in stop and go traffic, in situations where things are tight. It feels very light. And let's head up. And show it some curves. Let's see how it does. I'm in 4th gear now. Pretty tractable. Let's drop it down a couple of gears. Of course, it has a slipper clutch now, so dropping down the gears isn't a problem at all. Let's check out the acceleration. It's quite the little thing, this. Rides well, pulls clean. And the slipper clutch works very well. The motor has a character. It's a sweet character, in fact, that makes it pretty tractable while in the city, while you're riding. But when you need to get the performance out of it, it asks to be revved. Now, this is a 248.8cc liquid cooled single cylinder engine. Power comes in at 9000 rpm, that is 29.5 bhp coming in at 9000 rpm. So to get it to 9000 rpm in the city sometimes proves to be a task. Now if I had to get it to 9000 rpm in this stretch over here, I would have to be probably in 2nd gear or maybe in 1st gear, but I'm right now in 4th gear and it's pretty tractable. So torque down low is still pretty good. You can manage in the city, but if you want to get the maximum power out of the engine, so it begs to be revved. It is a rev happy engine, don't mistake me. It loves being revved high, but it takes some time to get to those high revs, especially if you're in a slightly higher gear. Say if you're in 3rd gear or 4th gear, it does take some time to get to that 7500 rpm where the maximum torque comes in, where the peak torque comes in, or the 9000 rpm where the maximum power comes in. But otherwise, brilliant little motor. Now I'm in 3rd gear doing about 3500 rpm and I'm at 30 kmph. Now I'm in 4th gear doing just 34, 5th gear doing just 36. It's a slight struggle, and now I'm doing 45 kmph and I shift to 6th gear and it's still decent. It's not very torquey, but at the same time it doesn't ask for a lower gear. It can continue in 6th gear. 42 kilometers per hour in just 6th gear. But you drop it down a couple of gears and This is where the motor sweet spot is. This is where the motor feels like KTM has done a brilliant job with it. Now the KTM 250 Duke slots between the 200 and the 390 Duke. The 200 Duke has a rabid character. It begs to be revved. It loves to be revved in every single gear, right from first gear all the way till sixth gear. It wants to be revved. It loves to be revved. Whereas the 390 Duke, now in the latest generation, in the latest iteration, it has a more relaxed character. Yes, it has proper massive power delivery, but it's not rabid. It's not as aggressive as the older generation 390. And the 250, as its number suggests, sits perfectly between those two, even in terms of character. It's not as rabid as the 200, and yet it's not as relaxed as the 390 in the way it delivers the power. It still wants to be revved, and that is something enjoyable, in fact, even if there is traffic all around like right now. I wouldn't mind hitting those twisties once again. Acceleration right now at 7000 rpm, so let's hit the peak top band now. Even under rapid downshifting at high RPM, you can see the shift RPM light blinking, but the slipper clutch has got things under control. It doesn't allow the wheel to slip, it holds on tight, and I love that about this bike. Handling is nimble too. Of course, it has the trellis frame with the rear subframe, which makes it a pretty nimble chassis that is supple enough for our roads, and yet you showed some twisties and it feels right at home in the twisties. Suspension duties are handled by an upside down fork up front and a monoshock at the rear. The rear monoshock is preload adjustable, which makes it easy to set up for sporty riding. So yet another interesting setting on this is the Supermoto ABS. Now if we stop it, now we are in road mode as it says on the display, and it says keep press and release button, and we are in Supermoto mode. So what that means is the ABS works perfectly on the front wheel, whereas the rear wheel, I can now lock it. That should be an interesting thing if you want to have a little fun in the city and maybe even off-road. Now this is not a motorcycle that is meant to go off-road, but if you still do take it off-road, well, you do have Supermoto ABS to help you around. Some other settings on the instrument console is, as I showed you, the actual fuel consumption, the real-time fuel efficiency. We've got the trip meters, you've got the fuel range, and of course we're back to the ABS modes. And the radiator fan just turned on. Not sure if you can hear that. It is pretty loud, but I love the way the bike sounds. It sounds grunty. It's got the grunt that is required. It's got the bass, just enough bass. Of course it isn't much, especially in this BF6 guys. However, I do wish that KTM had worked on the instrument cluster as well. Of course, costs would have been pushed up a little, but well, we would have had a more premium instrument cluster. When riding in a relaxed manner on an empty stretch of road, the engine feels calm, composed. It doesn't beg for more revs. It doesn't speed, and yet it's so nimble, so easy to maneuver. And 6th gear, 70 kilometers per hour, and I'm at 5000 rpm. So cruising shouldn't be an issue in this at all. Out on the highway, this should be able to cover distances quite easily. Bumps and potholes are felt, there is no doubt about that. There are even the most supple undulations are felt, but it's not much to complain about. It's not much that you would go on and have a grouse about. But a real world test, well, check. It has done very well, this bike. Fun little machine, this. It's available in 2 colors. There's a metallic silver, and this what we're riding is the dark Galvano. And there you go, the radiator fan has come on once again. This is only the second time that the radiator fan is kicking in, but we've been riding around in traffic for a long time now. Tight corners, tight spaces. The nimble front end really shines out in places like this. We're just going around aimlessly now, just trying to get the motorcycle to its limit. One interesting thing about the suspension is, if you want it to be more supple, if you want it to be a better ride, well, ride it harder. That's all there is to it. The slower you are, the more you feel the bumps. The faster you are, the better it feels. So there you have it. This was the KTM 250 Duke for you. To sum it up, quite a fun machine. I've had a blast riding this. It does well. Brilliant bike. Lovely bike. Yes, of course, KTM could have given us a better instrument console, but that's the only grouse with the KTM 250 Duke BS6. Everything else is good. The power output remains the same as I said earlier, and even with the 3 kilogram weight increase, it is not felt, it is not seen while riding. The 3 kg weight increase is not felt at all. Of course, the better brakes have helped massively. The 320mm disc up front has helped. It has put a smile on my face for sure. The trellis frame combined with the suspension and the Supermoto ABS makes it super fun to ride. The ergonomics too are just brilliant. It isn't aggressive really, and yet it isn't as relaxed as a hypermiler or a cruiser bike. It's just in between, which is where exactly what KTM wanted from this bike. It's a just in between bike, not too much of everything and yet not less either. So KTM has done a brilliant job with this machine. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'm a biker. Stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed yet, do subscribe. And well, that's it from us for now. Goodbye.